lot of times people say they eat clean, and then the first question has to be, what do you mean? Right? Because everybody's idea of clean is completely different. So, and we'll talk about more about why that is and everybody's opinions later. But for now, I just want to address the what's, right? What for us is the preferred set of foods to eat from. Let's talk about, again, it's a controversial topic. We'll get into why we arrived at this in later videos that you can check out. But for now, let's just talk about what we want. We want to keep this simple, right? So we talk about meats, right? Pork, chicken, beef, seafood, meat, right? Ideally fresh is the way to go. We try to push people towards the better, more natural stuff, the grass-fed beef, the wild-caught fish. Generally isn't a deal breaker as far as like things on the health scale that we do. That's probably kind of the low end of small gains you can make. It's not that it's not good to have the grass-fed beef or the wild-caught fish. It's just sometimes it's A, hard to find, and B, it can be prohibitively expensive for people. But that's what we prefer. So if you can do that, great. If not, probably not the end of the world. Veggies are also in there. Not a fan of you have to eat X amount of veggies, right? Because the evidence from that is very flimsy. If you like veggies, eat a ton of them. If you don't worry too much. You don't have to eat a whole ton. Tubers are probably a little bit more important because they're a good source of glucose for people. Tubers are a weird word. What we mean by that are potatoes, sweet potatoes, yucca, things like that, right? Starchy root vegetables that are fantastic. White potatoes are not bad for you, so get that out of your head. That's kind of an old myth. Some fruit, we generally prefer berries. Now, what we find is everybody reacts differently to different types of carbohydrate, right? Some people do very well with fruit versus starchy tubers and vice versa. So it's one of those things we kind of play and experiment with, right? It depends who you are. And we'll talk later on some ways like that fructose, in particular the fruit sugar, or one of the main sugars in fruits that wouldn't be in starchy tubers, can cause some problems. And then some nuts, not a fan of nuts hugely, but if you want to eat a few to get that little bit of crunch, right? We usually say a half cup a day. Healthy fats, like so we can cook in coconut oil and grass-fed butter, olive oil, medium heat. We don't want to burn our oils, right? Now, that's pretty much it. You can download kind of the guide of what to eat. But it basically falls into eat your meats, eat your veggies, eat your tubers, eat your berries, the things that require little or no processing that we've been eating the longest. Now, why is a very complicated story. We will get into that, but it'll be a little bit later.